How do you reconcile Christianity and nationalism when Christ and his disciples went to such lengths to emphasize universal brotherhood? I ask because I've been struggling to understand the rationale behind Catholic social doctrine.
Well, first you've got to understand there's a difference between nationalism and patriotism.
Okay.
Nationalism really is the love of people who are just like you. Patriotism is the love of your country. And the late lamented Eric von the Dean gave us an example, Bohemian patriotism versus Czech nationalism.
Okay.
He said a Bohemian patriot would love the Czechs and would love the Sudeten Germans because they're both in Bohemia. Whereas a Czech or Sudetendeutsch nationalist would hate the Czechs or the Sudetendeutsch because they weren't Czech or Sudetendeutsch.
Okay.
You'll find that every Catholic nation, every Orthodox nation, has a sort of sacred history involving the first missionary to bring the faith, particular apparitions that occurred in that country, particular saints who arose. There's a particular style of Catholicism in each Catholic country. But these are not in opposition to each other, like parts of an interlocking puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you take it a little bit further around the world, you've got the Anglosphere, Hispanidad, Francophonie, Lusofonia, and all these things. These are all, how do I put this? Well, they've often been in conflict, God knows. They are nevertheless intended to evangelize the world in common. Certainly, you know, the terrible things of World War I with priests on both sides blessing their armies as they went off and slaughtered each other. While the numbers of people involved made it quite amazing. This has been an inherent problem since almost the beginning. It goes back to the fall of man. But patriotism means love of one's country because that is where God has put you. But it's also understanding that everyone else is patriotic too. I mean, one of the stupidest things I ever heard in my life was on the radio when Vicente Fox was president of Mexico, and they were having an anti-immigration speak. And mind you, I'm not pro or against immigration. It is what it is.
Right.
But he gets up and he goes, Vicente Fox doesn't give a damn about this country. All he cares about is Mexico. Yeah. Because who pays his bills again? Who pays his salary? Oh, that's right, the Mexicans. Similarly, when OBJ demanded that de Gaulle turn over the French nuclear arsenal to him, he said, well, Mr. President, let me ask you, would you sacrifice New York for Paris? And OBJ said, certainly not. I says, well, I wouldn't expect you to. But that's why you're not getting control of my nuclear arsenal. You know, he wasn't upset with the man that he would not put New York or put Paris over New York. But he wasn't going to let him take control of it. So, the answer to your question is that you have to look at the nations of the earth not as inherently inimical places, but pieces of a big jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Which fit together ultimately. And they will fit together more easily and in a much better way once they are authentically and integrally Catholic.